Hey mama, welcome to the One Income Family Podcast. Today I have a real treat for you. Summer is almost here and I know that you are excited and ready for some good old summer fun. I am right there with you, dreaming of camping, swimming, gardening, and simply just being outside all day long. I, my friend, have been cooped up for far too long. Bonfires, roasting marshmallows, and stargazing is on my mind and bringing me so much excitement. Fishing, kayaking, sand volleyball, you name it, I am ready for it. Now, why am I telling you all of the fun summer activities I am ready for? Well, that's because today's episode, I am going to share with you how to set up your summer budget so that you can go out and have fun that you are dreaming of for the summer. Whether it's a large family vacation like going to Disneyland or just a simple backyard campout, whatever you are dreaming of for the summer, let's set up your budget so that those dreams become reality. So pop in your headphones, head outside and soak up some sun, and let's get to it. Do you find it hard to save or get out of debt? Are you constantly searching for ways to save money and live on a budget? Do you have big dreams only to be stopped by not sticking to your budget? Are you ready for financial freedom? Then you, mama, are in the right place. Welcome to the One Income Family Podcast, where you will learn what it looks like to budget on one income, how to partner with God in your finances, how to budget in a way that's easy to stick to, and how to cut costs and save money, all so that you can start building wealth. It is my mission to equip you with these tools so that you can live in abundance regardless of the amount in your account. Hey, I'm Molly, a budget coach for stay-at-home moms, and I know what it's like to struggle on one income. I've lived paycheck to paycheck, relied on being frugal, and failed many budgets until I learned how to budget without tracking. This has allowed my family to pay off debt and build wealth all on one income. So, if you are ready for financial freedom, then go grab that stroller, plug in those headphones, and let's get to it. I know what it's like to not be able to stick to your budget. The frustration, the disappointment, the feelings that you are a complete failure. The shame that encompasses you because you think you should be able to do this, and when you fail yet again to stick to your budget, it is crushing. You want to give up on the budget, to throw it out the window. You want to go back to when you had more money and budgeting was easy, when you didn't have to wonder if you had money or not. Mama, that dream can come true. You can live on one income and have a budget that you can stick to. Fear, frustration, disappointment, failure, and shame do not have to define your ability to manage your money confidently. I want you to say yes to you, to say that today is the day that you are going to release the fear and the shame of not being able to stick to your budget. I want you to go right now to calendly.com/Molly Bunnell, that's calendly.com/Molly with a Y, B as in boy, ENELL, and book your call because we are going to walk through this together. I am going to hold your hand and together we are going to overcome the fear so that you can budget confidently. Let's go. I don't know about you, but I'm sure that if you're listening to this podcast that you have went through this or are currently going through this, but every year when you sit down to look at your expenses, you think of the big things. Yearly bills, Christmas, kids' activities, but what always gets forgotten is summer. Unless there's this big, elaborate vacation that we've been dreaming about for I don't know how many years, right? That we generally we're not able to afford, mostly because we don't plan ahead for it, right? But we don't think of all the other summer activities that we want to do, and so it never gets planned for, and when summer comes around, we're either struggling to figure out how to do it, or we are trying to just simply get by, right, without doing those fun activities. And so that is why I really wanted to dive into today's episode to help you set up your budget so that you're not scrambling to get by, that you're not struggling through those months to be able to accommodate for the fun activities that you want to do. So that's really what this episode came about to be. And as I'm sitting down right now thinking about all the fun summer activities, like at the beginning of the episode, I was just rambling off all these things coming to mind that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's finally warming up. I can finally get outside. I can finally go out and do these fun things. And as I'm so certain that you are right there with me because, it's been a long winter and we're finally able to go outside and do things, unless you're in the hot seasons, like further down at the equator area, then I'm sure you're probably now just getting stuck in your house because it's too hot to be outside. But the rest of us who have been stuck inside and are excited for the summer to get outside, to be in the warmth instead of the cold, freezing snow, even though we love the snow at the beginning of the season, by the end of it, we're sick of it, right? But we're super excited to get out and just have some fun. But if we haven't put like planned out the things that we want to do or put that plan into our budget, then it can be really hard to actually implement the things that we want to do. So, as I'm sure that you have probably figured out, the first thing that you want to do for this budget, to create a summer budget, is to plan ahead. Because, when you're being frugal minded and you're thinking about the finances so that you're not hurting yourself along the way, you always need to sit down and create a plan, because that's essentially what my definition of frugal living is creating a plan for your money in every area of your life, right? So we need to sit down and we need to create a plan. What do you want to do? What can you afford to do? What do you need to start saving up for next year, right? But let's back up to that first question. So what do you want to do? What activities are just gnawing at you that you are super excited to go out and do this summer? For me, that is camping. I haven't really been able to camp very well here lately because of having my children, and I do like to have a camper when I have a baby. But now that I don't have infant babies, my youngest is now 2 years old, we can go out and I don't have to worry about them freezing in the middle of the night because it gets so cold, at nighttime in a tent. And we can actually enjoy the camping season, right? I'm sure if you are somebody who's a major camper, you know how to keep an infant warm in a tent. I am not that into it. I love to camp, but I'm not going to go to that extreme, right? So I finally feel comfortable that I can go out and do that and camp in a tent or camp in something that's just a simple pop-up camper if we borrow it from somebody, that's not going to be as warm as if we had a big luxurious camper, right? And so what do I need for that in order to go out and have fun and enjoy camping, right? What things can I take with us? What things are just that I can take from the house that I already have? What things do I need to buy? That's the things that we need to sit down and plan. We need to figure out what every single thing is going to take. How much money does it take to go camping every single time? And then how many times do I want to go camping, right? So those are the things that you got to think about. Those are the things that you've got to, and I'm sure none of us, I myself included, because I haven't been camping here lately, especially on one income, but I need to sit down and track how much money I actually spend every single time I go camping so that I know next time, next year rolls around, I can say, okay, this is how much it costs to go camping every single time. I want to go camping 10 times, so I need to say maybe we're just going to guess that it costs $200 every single time, because then we need the gas to drive there. My husband likes to take a boat, so we need the gas for boating, right? We need to get the food. We need essentially that's all we technically need. The rest is just wants, all the fun toys for the kids if we don't have those, or save them up, the fun tubes to sit in the water, the life jackets, just replacing the things that we don't already have, right? And so that's why we need to really sit down and track how much we actually spend when we go camping. Now, you might be able to take the money for camping food out of the budget for your food budget, right? That's because you are eating it still, but it's just at a different location. And so you really got to be frugal minded here, and you got to think like, where can this money come from? Where can I pull it from? Where am I already going to be using it, but it's just going to be in a different location, right? Like gas, food. And those are essentially like the biggest things here when it comes to doing these fun activities, because most of them aren't going to cost a whole bunch of money. Most of them is simply just going to be the cost of food and gas. And so are you going to eat out every single time? Can you afford to eat out every single time? Do you need to figure out some fun camping meals that you can take that then you maybe don't want to sit there and figure out how to cook over the fire, right? So if you just have things already pre-made, then you can just warm them up over the fire. Or maybe you just have cold food items with you, like sandwiches or macaroni dishes, those kind of things that you can keep cool. But then you got to think, how are you going to keep them cool? Do you have a cooler? Do you have a refrigerator in your camper? Do you need ice for your cooler? Those are things that you got to really think about that sometimes get forgotten. And that's when we start to struggle through our situation. And I know I'm talking about camping, and you may not be a camper. The biggest camping trip you may take is in your backyard so that the kids can sleep outside and you sleep in your bed, right? But whatever those activities are, what do you like to do? Do you live in the city and you like to go swimming often? Does that mean that maybe you should get a membership at wherever it is that you like to go swimming at, because it's cheaper doing it that way than getting daily passes? Like, how often are you going to go? What is it that you need to be thinking about financially when it comes to that activity, right? Is there a way that you can find a way to save money in that? Kind of like what I just said is like the family package instead of a daily pass, right? So what is it that you like to do, and what do you really want to take on? Once you figure that number out, then you can look at your everyday budget, your monthly budget, and you can see how much remainder you have left over from after you've paid your bills and you've got your groceries and all that kind of stuff. And then you can sit down and you can divide that number that you figured out by however many months that you're going to be doing this in. And that's how much money you need to use you need to save up every single month, right? So say we're just going to throw something big out there. Like you want to go on this big family vacation to like Disneyland, and say it's going to cost, I'm sure it's probably going to cost more than this, but we're just going to give a random number of like $5,000. It may cost more, it may cost less. I'm not actually sure because I've never looked into going to Disneyland, right? But say it's going to cost like $5,000. Well, if you have 3 months to save that amount up for Disneyland, so we have January, June, July, and say you're going at the end of August, so you have June, July, and August to save that up. Do you have it in your finances to save up that $5,000 in 3 months? Because I should have done $3,000. That's a lot easier to do math on the top of my head. So we're going to say that it costs $3,000. That would essentially say that you need to save up $1,000 every single month extra to go towards that vacation. Is that something you can do, right? Is that something that is feasible? If not, then start saving up for that in smaller increments to maybe go next year, or maybe to go in the winter months when it's freezing up here and nice and sunny down in Florida, or, I forget if Disneyland's in Florida or California, but essentially whether you're going to Disneyland or Disney World, they're still in warmer locations than maybe you live, because maybe you live in like Nebraska, where I live, where it gets cold in the winter. So think about that. Like, is there a way you can still do those fun family vacations, but you just need to maybe spread it out a little bit longer so that you can save up for it in more months and not negatively affect your monthly budget, right? So that you can still pay your bills and you can still eat and have gas to go where you need to go and all that kind of stuff. But then If you're saving up for that and you're not able to do it this summer, what are you going to do for fun, right? What fun activities are you going to do? Well, I want you to try to shift your mindset, because I want you to try to embrace a childlike fun. If you think about it, if you give a child a stick, that stick can become so many fun things to them. And I feel like money, it takes away our imagination and puts us in these boxes where we don't know how to have fun anymore. We don't know how to use our imagination and be crazy and spontaneous with like sticks and rocks and whatever we have in the house, throw a blanket on and become a cape kind of thing. I feel like we need to learn how to do that by learning from our children, like watching them have fun with the things around us, because I once talked to somebody who said that they were tired of searching online for these free activities because they just wanted to be able to use their money and have fun that way, right? Well, if you think about that, money has become a convenience. It's a way to, it has put us in a box, and it keeps us from having to actually use our brains, right? We go out there and we're like, oh, somebody made this fun thing. Let's buy it and do it. Whether it's like a board game or whether it's like going golfing or, whatever the activity is that causes us to use our finances, it kind of has taken away our imagination and puts us in this box to where we can't think for ourselves and we can't have fun. And I feel like, and I'm talking about myself as well, but I feel like we have to have money in order to laugh, in order to have fun, and it takes away that joy in life that we have. And so I really want you to try to shift your mindset and find fun in the free. Then you will be able to bring joy not only to your life, but teach your children, and maybe they're teaching you how to enjoy your life without the convenience of money, right? Try to figure out how to have fun with the things that you already have, with the way that you can have fun with the free things. There are so many free things going on out there that you can participate in, but it takes time and energy to go out there and search for what that is. And money, because of the convenience of it, has really made it a simple way to just throw money at the problem and solve it by the first thing that we find, which really takes the fun and joy out of fun and joy, essentially, because we are so focused on having to, find that next fun thing that money is going to bring us, because we have really just dug into this convenience of money. And I feel like that money kind of causes us to be enslaved to it when we are so focused on that mindset. So I really want to challenge you to shift that mindset from I have to have money to have fun to I can find fun in whatever's around me. I can do whatever's around me. There are so many things that you can just search online for fun activities, and whether that's like vacation style activities or just fun activities that you do with your children in the backyard with like a water bottle and a hose and make your own fun sprinkler, right? Or just spray the water in the air and have fun that way. Use your trampoline as a way of a sprinkler. If you don't have a trampoline, then, it's just, there are so many things out there and so many fun ways to do things, but it does take a little bit of time and energy to figure out what those things are. And if maybe you can't figure it out yourself, ask your kids. I'm sure that they have plenty of ideas and exciting things that they would like to try, like mud pies, huh? You like to play with mud pies, don't you, little baby? My daughter apparently wants to be part of this episode, right? She's just talking away today. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to stop there. I really just want to challenge you, though, to embrace a childlike fun, to go out and try to find fun and joyful, that's not really a word, enjoy. I want you to go out and enjoy your life. Find the things that you enjoy. Find things that are fun, that don't cost money. bring them back to the Facebook group and really just share with us the fun things that you and your children are doing throughout the summer. What summer activities are you planning on doing? What summer activities can your budget handle for this summer? And what activities do you have to start saving up for in the future? What are some summer activities that you have found that you have been able to find a frugal way of doing it by saving money or, trading somebody with another activity that they're doing? Maybe somebody has some tickets to go to a game of some sort, which I know it's not really game season, but I'm sure there's something out there with tickets, right? And they're not able to go. So maybe there's something that you can trade them for whatever those tickets are, right? So go out there, be money mindful, be frugal minded, and just create a summer that you and your family are going to enjoy. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy. It just has to be something that you and your family are going to enjoy. All right. That's all for now. So I will see you back here again next week on another episode of the One Income Family Podcast. Before you go, I hope this episode has ignited a fire inside of you, and I pray that it creates long-lasting impact. Did you know that you too can impact other one-income families? All you have to do is leave a written review, and you help get the podcast in the hands of other mamas in need. You can also text this episode to that friend who is also knee-deep in the same kind of chaos as you and inspire them to make a change. Also, your review lets me know that you're enjoying the show, and that lights me up. I get so excited to hear from you. Another great way that we can connect, though, is through the One Income Family community over on Facebook. So after you're done leaving that 5-star review, head on over to the community where you will find other mamas working their way out of the chaos. You can ask your questions and connect with others who truly understand what you are going through. I cannot wait to connect with you in the community. Until then, I will see you right here next week on another episode of the One Income Family Podcast.